This is strictly week 2, 3, 2. This is week 2, isn't it?
Of?
The month. On the 10th.
Yeah.
Not quite then, because that means last week would have been like the 3rd. Yeah, I guess kind of week 2. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Monday evening, you wonderful humans. If you haven't already, as per usual, please do all the magical YouTube things for us right now. Do that right now. 60 people watching, 25 likes. Do it right now. Right now. Oh, wait. Welcome back, you wonderful humans. Hopefully you've had a beautiful weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed your weekend. I had an interesting weekend. I actually started doing some painting on this guy, on this cheeky man, on Mr. the Gullyman, right? Not Gullyman, Calgar. Did some painting on him. I want to do some more tonight, actually, but for the most part, I think that painting content that isn't quite as good, and the feedback I've had is that actually that's the case, that people don't love it as much. People much prefer the face-to-face engagement, chatty people, and not just listen to Vinny's music, watch you see the top of Liam's head whilst he paints something delicately. So it's up to you to make it, you know, a fun show. Actually, strictly it's up to me to make it a fun show, but you know what I mean. Luce, however, is still going to keep hobbying. She's knitting away next to me like some 78-year-old lady. What are you making? Is it James's? Oh, it's James's jumper. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So she'll be here to give her input. We did on Saturday morning at 10 a.m, especially for those of you in America land, Australia land. I don't know if you noticed. We did it on Saturday. Watch the reveal show as a live watch along. Thank you, the Springies, by the way, for the 5 gifted memberships. Kicking us off. What a legend. What a start. It's already not a 0 show. That's a good start. You're a hero. Thank you so much. So if you've got thoughts on Saturday's reveal show, I would love for you to stick them on postcards and send them in to me. I thought it was quite interesting. I thought the model releases and I thought what they showcased was exceptionally good. I think it was a very high standard overall. And I don't think there's much that came out that I thought, that was a bit naff. Not really bothered by that. I think that from front to back, what they revealed was exceptional. How they revealed it was a steaming pile of dog shit, unfortunately. But what they revealed was very, very good. Now, having had some time to digest, because what I try and do when I do those sorts of watch-along shows is I do the whole social media blackout. I'm watching nothing. I'm seeing nothing. I don't want to read. I didn't read Thanes. I didn't go on Facebook. I had one message from one person, and I was panicking when I opened it that it was a spoiler. But all it was, oh, their production was shit, right? So what I did is I managed to kind of avoid everything and watch it live with you guys. Having gone away and now sort of digested it and thought about it and sat with it and thought, well, what's the thing that I'm most excited about? I think during the show, I probably would have told you that I was most excited about either Captain Titus, which I think looks fine, like a semi-decent model, or I was actually quite excited for the Warhammer Plus programs, right? Because they looked like they were sort of what I was expecting when the guy from Astartes was signed and blah, but we haven't really seen a lot of it. I got quite excited about that stuff. Having thought about it, having spent some time in the wonderful Toby's company over the last couple of weeks, what I've actually got more excited for now, in hindsight, is the 500 Worlds narrative stuff that they were talking about. Now, I don't know how much details come out about this yet. I need to go and read the website. But what's come out, or what they're suggesting is this is a narrative story, right? And this is something that I think, having stopped and done a bit of reflection over the course of the last few months, and having thought about it quite heavily over the last few weeks, this is something that, for me, has been a huge shift and a change in my Warhammer. And I think that mostly to its detriment and to the negative, right? And I'll explain. First of all, thank you, Stefan, for the 1 gifted. Thank you, Marcus, for 5 gifted memberships. You fucking legends. No other word. Fuck it. Someone said I swear too much, Luce.
You do?
I think it's bullshit. Utter bullshit, right? So I've been thinking quite hard, long and hard, about 40k, and part of it's because I know we've got this this new edition around the corner on these 3-year cycles. There's been other things that have been going on that have kind of fed this, right? So this weekend, Joe was at the World Championships of Warhammer. He was playing Age of Sigmar specifically, but there was obviously the 40k World Championships, and the Thanes shared some images of the game, the final. That added in to part of what I'm about to talk about. And I try and think back to the whole reason why Warhammer gripped me when I was younger, when I was but a wee boy, when I was early teens, I think it was, or close to hitting teens. Why did it grip me? Why was I grabbed so hard by this hobby? Why are so many of us grabbed so hard by this hobby? And I don't think it's because we are particularly fast at making sure we measure that you're 9.1 inches away and you can specifically do a charge. And are you 1 inch behind the wall? And look at, I don't think it's about that. I don't think most of us got into the hobby because we want to see perfectly symmetrical boards of L-shaped terrain that's been cut out, that's been placed on cut-out pieces of battle mat that are a different colour to the battle mat that they're actually playing on. This was the final. Warhammer Games Workshop's World Championships. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get the image up and show you. Their World Championships of Warhammer, the final for me, and maybe I'm being really harsh here. Maybe, and if you want to slap me down and tell me that I'm wrong, I'm open to the conversation. But for me, this was a bit disgusting. And I think if you're going to the World Championships, remembering, of course, that Joe had to get funded to get over there. We paid to send her over there. It wasn't something they were going to cover. So if you're paying to go to the World Championships of Warhammer, run by the company themselves, the multi-billion-pound company, I might add, right? Multi-billion-pound company. I would expect better than this, if I'm honest with you. I'm just letting WhatsApp load on my PC. I don't open up my PC for very often, so it's just so easy to open up my MacBook that it takes ages to do it on my PC. Once it's loaded, I'll grab the image that was shared in Thanes. I have to grab the image and download it because I want to make sure I don't share anyone's numbers without their permission, obviously. Because Thanes pay to be there, so, you know. They can't just send their messages all over the internet like I do when I leave them in the phone box sometimes. So if I grab this and go in here and I go to media and links, go and find the image, specifically the one that they shared from last night. That's the one I want. And then we download it. Bang. I think that then means I don't share anyone's details, which is important. So then I can image, browse, that one. Okay, right. And then we can make it a bit bigger. So I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put it up over my face right now, okay? It's going to hide my face in a minute. But look at this, right? This we're not ranting about production quality here. This is World Championships of Warhammer. The final of the World Championships of Warhammer. Also being broadcast. This is the table they played on, right? Now, this is their setup. I say this is their setup. I don't know if this is their setup. I don't know if this is who runs this. This might be War Games Live setup. But this is the table that they're playing on. So let's ignore the layout, the dice box. This is cool. Like having this up in the top corner with all the different units is cool. But let's just have a look at this mat, right? This is, let me zoom in a bit more if I can. This is the best they can do for the World Championships of Warhammer, right? This is the best they can do. Look at the fucking state of that tabletop. What on earth is this? This up here is cool. This is just, imagine getting to the final of the World Championships and that's what you're playing on. The terrain is L shapes. It almost looks unpainted. I'm sure it's not. It's placed on battle map material to show its footprint that sometimes doesn't match, which is a different colour to the actual tape. That's about as immersive as I am attractive. It's the polar opposite. It's so bad.
All you do is insult me when you compare your attractiveness.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you've got cataracts. I think, honestly, I just think that's vile. And I've been thinking about Warhammer quite a lot over the last few days, and I think, you know, this compounded it. And I'm like, for me, when I was young, I didn't get into Warhammer because I was excited about poorly painted L-shaped plastic ruins on shit bits of cut-out mouse mat on top of another big cut-out mouse mat with perfectly symmetrical terrain layouts, perfectly symmetrical objectives. That's not why I got into this game. I got into this game for the immersion, for the excitement, for the narrative moments, for the cool stuff. That's what I got into it for. I also got into it for the story and how cool fucking Space Marines are and how cool Eldar are, and I don't care what you all say, Eldar are cool, all right? That's what I got into it for, and that's just not what that represents. And although I'm enjoying playing Warhammer with the lads and I'm enjoying playing Garage Hammer and Beer Hammer, I feel like Warhammer 40k, for me, has lost some of its soul. And I'm going to try hard at the moment to try and bring some of that soul back in gently over the course of the next 6-12 months into the streams, our events at Hobby House, the way our tables look, the way our venue feels, the type of lists that we take. Because I've been trying to write an Ultramarines list recently. And I went, I've got this, right? This is the 8th edition supplement. And inside the 8th edition supplement, right at the front of each 8th edition supplement, we have... Hang on, I'm going to find it. Wait one. I'm definitely prepped for the show. We have this thing.
It was bare plastic for the first 2 days.
Disgusting. We have chapter organisation for Ultramarines, right? So I'm now looking at the chapter organisation for Ultramarines, and granted this was for pre-Primaris, but I'm looking at the chapter organisation, and I'm thinking to myself, how do I make armies that fit within a chapter organisation? How do I make armies that fit within the company organisation? What company do I want to do? Right? That's now I'm making decisions on how I build lists based on chapter organisation and company organisation. So I don't want to be in a position where I play an Ultramarines list with 5 captains, because that's fucking bollocks. And now I've started writing lists and thinking about how that organisation works and thinking about how I construct it so that it's narratively correct and there's a single captain and maybe a couple of lieutenants, and we have that nice command structure within the Marines, and we have, you know, the nice sort of drop the trickle down from 1 to 2 to 2 to etc. My enthusiasm has gone through the fucking ceiling. Hence, I was painting yesterday. I had a rare day of don't have to do anything. And so yesterday I spent time airbrushing and painting and getting stuff ready and figuring out lists. And I think this is really, really, really positive for me personally. Because I think that Warhammer 40k throughout 10th edition specifically, but also for a little while now, has lost a lot of its soul, and the thing that caused a lot of us to dive into this. Right? And I feel like it's been a slow decline, so a lot of us kind of haven't really recognised it or sort of witnessed it, but it has happened. And so the 500 worlds that was announced, I now think is the thing that I'm most excited about for this edition and its previews that happened on Friday. I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. Because I want a narrative arc that I can play along to, that gives me different missions and different scenarios and things that aren't... I am so sick of symmetrical tables. I'm so sick of symmetrical tables. I'm sick of symmetrical objectives. Play Heresy. The thing is, Iceberg, the play Heresy, play AOS, play Old World, it doesn't work. I want to play, for example, my favourite faction in all of existence is Eldar. Can't play that in any of those games. Right? I can only play those in 40k. My favourite game, because of its narrative setting specifically, is 40k. So I want to play 40k. I want to play it in a fun, cool, engaging way. But that's a realisation that I think I've had. And, you know, Toby... I've been chatting to him a fair amount about it, and he's like, well, I don't, you know, I can't take more than this number of, I can't take another captain because I have one already in my list, and I can't do this, and I have to, and I just kind of love the way that he's constructing his lists, and he's going, I know this is worse this way, but narratively it makes more sense. And so honestly, that's my takeaway at the moment, and I'm not miserable or sad. I'm not hating on 40k. I'm not for one moment suggesting it's dying, because it's not dying. It's doing very, very well, and clearly what they're doing competitively is servicing a large crowd and people are enjoying it. And they had a huge number of people at London Grand Tournament. They had a huge number of people at LVO. They had a huge number of people at World Championships of Warhammer, and it was, you know, it's done very well. I'm not complaining, and I think that's stuff that should absolutely continue. I think that's stuff that's good and positive, and I'm happy for that, and I'm happy for that group. And I'm not saying they can't have their fun. I'm saying they should absolutely be able to have their fun in the way in which they want to have their fun, but do something for us as well. Give us narrative bunnies that join because we like the lore, we like the setting, we like cool looking fucking tabletops. Give us something to cling on to. Even just a mission set, even just bringing something Maelstrom based back. We have random placed objective markers where we can look at a table and go, well, that's an ammo dump, so that should probably be an objective marker. And that's a vital alleyway, so that should probably be an objective. And that's a statue of Celestine, so that should be an objective. These all make narrative sense as objectives. And once we place those objectives, we then do random shit rather than just go stand on an objective, get some points, do an action, get some more points. Because that's fucking dull and I'm bored of it. But hey, that's my realization. I'd love to know what you guys think. Stick it on postcards. Let me know what your thoughts. If you've got cool ideas for ways in which we and I'm gonna say something now, and I know this might upset some people.
Everyone complains about tournament terrain until I turn up with 2 hammerheads, 2 riptides and 2 sky rays, winking face emoji, GW plastic greater than unsprayed MDF Toso 1 point.
Yeah, in fact, that's all true, Predators. It's all true, but I'm going to add a but, right? GW plastic is greater than unsprayed, 100%. That gives them a point. The thing is with your when I say I don't want Games Workshop's tournament terrain, what I'm saying is I don't want dull, small scale L shapes, perfectly symmetrical. You can create a narrative board with dense terrain that still means that you don't just be able to blast every single person off the board with those 6 models. That's still a thing that you can do. It's possible. Bit of creativity. Have a conversation with what you're bringing. I'm going to be bringing 2 riptides, 2 hammerheads, and 2 sky rays. Okay, cool. So let's just make sure that we don't have a game where you can sit at the back of your deployment zone and blow me off the table. And we'll do that with terrain. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. So, yeah, so if you've got suggestions, if you've got comments, stick them on postcards for me. Let's get the postcard and membership train going. One thing I will say is I want to do this within the realms of 40k, right? So I don't want the do 1-page rules. I don't want to do that. I want to play 40k. I don't want the go play Heresy. Not a dig iceberg for reference, but you know, I don't want to go play Heresy. I want to do it in 40k. So ideas. Maybe we try and put together some custom missions or something that we can play, and we can do them on stream, and then we can release them as a PDF. They'd be released for free because we can't charge because we'd get told off if we charge for it. But maybe we can do that. Let me know what you think. What makes me laugh is they don't even make the terrain that fits their own designated footprints. They don't know.
Says wants narrative missions, but hasn't played an asymmetric game since the mission deck released. Eyes emoji, only ribbing you, but would love to see them.
The thing is, asymmetric doesn't inspire me. It's just a slightly different version of normal missions. I want actual narrative stuff. I want actual decent narrative scenarios. And I don't, if I'm going to play asymmetric, honestly, I'd rather just play old Maelstrom and adapt that slightly because I think it's more fun. Honestly, I think it's more fun than asymmetric. I take your point, Britters. Thank you for the $5 as well, man. But and you're allowed to rib me. You've put 2 blue ones in straight away. That's the rules, right? Maelstrom of War circa 7th was so fun. Need that vibe back for sure. 100%. 100%. Boarding action is one of the only things I ended up liking at 9th, and I hope for it to be the same with 10th. I really need this 500 world stuff to be good. Really, really do. It's inspired me to start painting Ultramarines. You know. Play some of the Crusade missions. Not a terrible shout, to be fair, nobody. Better, yeah. I'd love to hear what your thoughts, chat. I'd love to know what you think, legitimately, on all the things. It doesn't just have to be a postcard either. I'd just love to know what you think about this, because I don't know if I'm alone here, and if this is a realization that I'm having, and you're all going, I don't know what you're talking about, it's not a problem, or if you're going, yeah, we've been thinking this for a while. You know, I'm interested. I care. How's the knitting?
I'm at a crucial point now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm at the armholes.
Oh.
If you can find them, White Dwarf released a load of narrative-style missions and table layouts, tried a few and they were pretty good TBF.
I don't know if this is just me. Thank you, Ramaclock, for the $5. I don't know if this is just me, but is locking missions in White Dwarf magazines, which are for sale for a limited time, something that people see as a good and positive thing, or is it something that people see as a that's a bit shit? Because personally, I'm of the latter. Unless there's a way in which you can make them available on Warcom or something, I don't know. But I don't love it. I'm working on collating all the White Dwarf stuff that I have, by the way. Interesting. I don't think narrative missions are going to make the game feel narrative. I strongly agree with this. There's so much to it, isn't there? This is the thing, right? I don't think going, for example, it's going to be Blood Angels versus Tyranids, and Blood Angels have to defend the fortress, and Tyranids just get to respawn units is enough. I think you need restrictions in place on how lists are built. I think you need players to approach the lists narratively. I think you need the terrain to make sense. I think the terrain needs to fit the narrative as well. I don't think just a mission works. I was a fan of the restriction in lists in 9th, where you could bring only one captain for 2 lists for Space Marine and 2 lieutenants for Space Marines, only 1 overlord for Necrons. I agree. I agree. Aren't old editions in the Warhammer Plus archive? I've no idea. Nobody. I'll be honest with you. I've used Warhammer Plus. Honestly, I've used it for the app and the free miniature, and that's about it. I've watched minimal of the TV show, not looked at anything else. It's possible there's a lot more there that I can use, and I should probably be getting better value for my money, and that's on me, but... I'd rather they spent their effort designing new missions and new ways to play rather than new detachments. Strong agree. Having the magazine exclusive was a dick move. It was merely a suggestion for... Oh, no, absolutely. And it's a great suggestion, but I stopped buying White Dwarf a long time ago. Because I don't think White Dwarf is an interesting read anymore. And I flat won't buy it now. They're printing articles by Bellends. But... and those articles themselves, I'm like, you know, that's not why I wanted to buy White Dwarf. And I know, you know, the old White Dwarf battle reports, the old top-down battle reports on White Dwarf. We all know that if there was new models coming out, it was that faction that was going to win. If that wasn't, like, particularly well hidden, right? That wasn't a secret to most people. Oh, look, they just brought out some new Blood Angels.
Discuss a few days beforehand which factions you're bringing. Then come up with a simple narrative/setting. Design the board around your narrative. You can stretch the story out over a number of games. Scrap re-rolls.
That last part is so important to me, honestly. But I think re-rolls aren't going to go away, because in a game like 40k with the variety of factions, I think re-rolls is how they continue to stick to a D6 system rather than moving to a D10 or D12. Because by giving something a reroll or a reroll 1s or whatever, you have extra statistical possibilities. But I don't like rerolls for narrative for certain. But then I think that rerolls used to be done a long time ago quite well in old like ballistic skills and stuff. Heresy doesn't have rerolls at all. But interestingly, I think Heresy gets away with it because everything's a Space Marine, pretty much. But I don't. I fucking hate rerolls. I can't stand them. But I was talking to Toby today, right? So I've been looking at the models I have currently available to me for Ultramarines, and how I would perhaps construct a list that would be narrative. And I have access to a Terminator captain, and I was like, hang on, which captain would he have to be? So He'll probably have to be the captain of the first company because he's the Terminator captain. I own the Jump captain. He's here. I've opened him and I look at him. I've got him. He probably has to be the captain of the 8th company, right? Because you're not going to see 3 Jump captains in an army for me because you don't have 3 captains of the 8th company. That's how that works. And I'm just trying to map. I'm currently in the place where I'm trying to map the current Primaris stuff into the old company formations and where things should fit and where things go. And it's not quite a perfect science at the moment, right? Because Primaris doesn't quite work. But like most companies have a captain, some lieutenants, like 6 to 8 battle line units, 2 close support units, 2 fire support units, dreadnoughts, and then you've got the armory with tanks and stuff like that. So I'm trying to make it. I'm loving it right now. Honestly, loving it. And I'm enjoying it so. By the way, Alex, thank you so much for $20. I'm enjoying it so much more. I'm enjoying it so much more, and I really want this 500 Worlds to be this incredible narrative campaign where no matter what faction you are, you can get involved, and it gives you cool missions and cool ways to play and things you can adapt. For me, a perfect narrative is we suggest you play this with Blood Angels and Tyranids, but actually, it doesn't have to be that way. Just you're pretending that you're playing that the defender is the last bastion of defense against the invader. Doesn't matter which way round it is. It could be orcs defending a stronghold against the Imperium, for all you know. Right? You can set it up. You can make it work. You can make these missions that work for a multitude of different scenarios. You don't lock it to a specific faction. The way the 500 Worlds lets me down, for me personally, it's got to be Ultramarines. I'm like, well, there's a lot of people that can't get involved then, right? I would love to actually play Heresy, but then I will be the only one who plays in Colorado. Oh, Heresy's a fucking great game. $40K will not be fixed by Games Workshop, unfortunately, so any changes to bring the soul back is on the players. You and the team are able to do that. You and Toby clearly know what you want from it. Yeah, I think so. I've been getting into Old World lately, and I've really gained an appreciation for actual narrative rules. Games feel like a battle; they don't feel like a game. Exactly that. Exactly that. Exactly that. Although I think that there's some limitations as well, though, right? Because some factions, like Emperor's Children, if you take the characters out of Emperor's Children, they really struggle. Why do I have the feeling 500 Worlds is going to be an extended combat patrol? As long as it plays well, though. As long as it plays well, who cares? It can be an extended combat patrol if it plays well and the rules are cool.
Space Marines should reroll ones to hit and wound, and that's it. No full rerolls, no ++ to hit, etc. Once per battle unit abilities for lethal/sustained.
It's interesting to see what people's suggestions are. Thank you, Andrew, for the $5, man. You're a hero. I'd love to hear, like, get a super chat up, put $5 in. If you can change one rule in 40k right now, what would it be? There's a question for you. You can change one rule in Warhammer 40k right now. £5 super chat, $5 super chat, send it, go. One rule change, only one. That rule change can be remove rerolls. It can be reintroduce templates. It can be bring back initiative. It can be one captain per army or equivalent. It can be any of those sorts of things. Any of those things. I want to hear it. I'm interested. I want to start crafting some cool narrative scenarios. I'm really excited for it at the moment. And the thing is, it's not lost on me that the second I step away from thinking about competitive stuff in Warhammer and I go back to thinking about narrative stuff in Warhammer, my kind of enthusiasm and my hobby mojo goes through the roof. It just skyrockets, that cannot be a coincidence. Well, it's not a coincidence. It absolutely isn't. It's just going back to why I love it, and I've missed it. But hey.
Do you remember the delayed reserves rules from Fantasy? Chuck that into a survive the onslaught battle. Also remove rerolls is my number one choice.
What's the delayed reserves the delayed reserves rules, Ramacock? Remind me. Remind me what that is, because I've forgotten.
Explosions on a 5+, except orcs, they get 3+.
Love it. Thank you, Evan, for the blue one. You're a legend. Thank you, Ramacock, for another $5 for your hero. We're also on 11 members, chat. Wave your members at me. If all 157 of you gift a single membership right now, right this second, we'll have probably over 100 members.
Lose fixed squad sizes. Bring back PTS per model.
I'm on board with that one. 100%. 100% on board with that one.
I need to go and measure Jim Jam.
Oh. Evan, thank you for the one gifted. You're a hero.
Stratagems are a one-time use.
Like that one.
I did say to him, you can grow until I start the armholes. Then when I start the armholes, you can't grow anymore.
Yeah, we're going to stunt his growth now.
So I might measure him.
I'm 100% behind. I like strats being a one-time use war boss Benny. I really like that. I really, really like it. You can make them a bit more powerful because you know that a guy can't spam it every single turn. I like the idea of strats being one-time use. 100%. White, you think if everyone gifted, you're a legend.
Bring back psychic powers, but in different phases of the game instead of just psychic phase.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a fan of that. Make it fit in with the thing that it's doing. I love that as a concept. All these, see, this is what I'm saying. I think if we really stopped, right, and thought about it for a minute, and you lot had enough money, right, honestly, I think you could send in super chats, genuinely, for the next hour about things where I'm probably going to go, yeah, I agree with you.
I would change Sisters rules back to 3rd edition. Miracle dice should be spent abilities that affect the specific units. Update rules to match edition.
I don't like current miracle dice, so I'd be on board with that as well. But I think we could do this. I honestly think I'm encouraging you to. I think we could do this for the next half an hour to an hour. And for the most part, I'm going to go, yep, agree. And this is what the thing that gets to me, right? Andrew, thank you for one gifted as well. You're a legend, up to 14. Come on, chat. Choo choo, motherfuckers. And here's the thing that gets me.
Bring back the 9th edition force organization / detachments when building lists. 1-3 HQs, 2-6 troops, etc.
I really liked the concept of scrapping the force org charts when we first launched 10th. I actually now think it was a mistake. I miss list restrictions for building. I miss the fit it into this formation that is narratively makes sense. I miss it a lot.
PTS for war gear. Right now it's just use the best.
Yep. So we think about these things we're saying, right? Points for war gear, bring back force org chart, we're bringing back psychic powers, we're one-time use stratagems, we're getting rid of fixed squad sizes and bringing back points per model. Apparently everyone wants everything to explode. Removing rerolls, stuff like that. If we think about all these things...
Unpopular opinion, bring back tank armor values.
It's not unpopular to me, Chris. Delay reserve was 50% of your army, starts off the board and appears turn 3 onwards. Interesting. It's not unpopular to me, Chris. I like that opinion. If we think of all these things we're talking about, now tell me that 40k hasn't lost its soul.
Battle shock should force a unit to miss a turn. No movement, they can still shoot but hit on 5s and half range. It needs to be impactful to the game.
I'm gonna top trump you slightly, Alex. I want units to turn and run away again. I liked the fact that you would flee from combat. I'd like the fact that you could be cut down. I like the fact that you had to roll leadership to rally. But yes, Chris, I miss armor values. I don't like toughness 12 tanks. It's a personal thing. I also have to remember that the main edition that I really got into, I played from like 4th, 5th, but the one that I really got into was 7th, and I need to be cognizant of the fact that I have a significant bias towards that particular rule set because of how much I played it. I miss initiative. I miss weapon skill. Two of the things I miss the most. As a person who prefers infantry, and I don't like vehicles so much, and I like melee, I miss initiative and weapon skill. Because initiative and weapon skill, I personally think, right, that initiative and weapon skill is a tool that allows you to have or demonstrate significantly more narrative outcomes. Okay, so things like Primarchs would be initiative 10 because who's going to get the drop on a Primarch? Very few things will get the drop on a Primarch. Weapon skill is one of those most important narrative tools for me. Initiative meant you didn't need this bullshit fights first, fights last, fights normal bollocks. That all went away.
Make special characters actually special, so Belial makes Terminators our battle line or Bjorn makes Dread's battle line. Also, generic leaders need more.
Agree completely. So I miss weapon skill because if you have Jane Czar and you have a Space Marine Sergeant or a Blade Guard, for example. Now, a Blade Guard or a Space Marine is going to hit most things on 3s because he's a Space Marine. That's the thing that you really want Space Marines to be hitting on because he's good, strong martial prowess, right? But he's actually going to hit Jane on 4s or 5s and she's going to hit him on 3s. But he's hitting everything. Like, at the moment, for me, I always say, or I've always said, that I don't want AOS's flat to wound roll to come into 40k because it removes some of the flavour, and I stand by that. I think that the loss of... So ballistic skill was largely irrelevant because it wasn't impacted by what you were shooting at. Ballistic skill could stay the same. It can. Space Marine hits on a 3. That could stay the same. That's not a problem, right? Absolutely not a problem. But weapon skill, the swordsmanship of an individual versus the swordsmanship of another individual should matter. And it doesn't. It doesn't matter. So if I'm taking my Space Marine Blade Guard and he's swinging a sword at a standard guardsman, it's very difficult for him to miss, right? But that same Space Marine Sergeant swinging a sword at Jane Czar or I don't know, Lilith, perhaps he shouldn't hit as easily. That I feel like was a huge loss of narrative flavour. And then initiative, someone said all Eldar players misses initiative. 100% we do. Because Eldar are the fastest race, or one of the fastest races in the galaxy. Their speed is what they have. If your opponent gets 5 charges off and you've got no way of interrupting, you're just going to get slapped 5 times before you can do anything back. The only thing that circumvents that is Banshees with fights first. That's not how it should work. A Guardian is still faster than a Guardsman. Whether the Guardsman charged or not. 7th edition is built on the foundations of 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th edition. So you have over 20 years built and adapted in that time. 8th, 9th got chucked out after 6 years and 10th doesn't look to last. No. Get rid of Blast, bring back marker templates. I miss marker templates. Redo AP. All basic weapons should be AP 0. Only differentiation should be strength for the army's basic weapons. Yeah, AP needs redoing because armor means fuck all at the moment. Drinking cherry mead by the pint now. Well done, mate. Had a CT and an MRI. What's going on, Lehman? What have I missed? My God, I'm tired today. I'm trying not to be negative about it because I can still have fun with mates playing 40k. And 40k is doing wildly successful. And I have no doubt it's going to be our #1 selling product at Hobby House. No doubt at all. Would you... here's a question. Would you come and play at a smaller, say a 30-man event, where it's an event, and it's a tournament, and there'll be a winner, but actually it's narrative tables, it's cool missions, it can't be custom scenarios because that won't work at an event, but it's cool missions, random placed objectives that kind of fit into the table. Would you want to play in that kind of event for a weekend? Genuine question. I think one of the main issues is how we look at fluff versus gameplay. 2 custodians should mop up 2,000 points of guard. That's silly from a game state. Of course it is. But then I have my own opinion that custodians should have never been introduced to 40k as a faction. I mean, that's a pretty positive response. I'm thinking about making it a Hobby House staple, I'll be honest. The way I look at it, right, is ITC points is something that is directly correlated to number of players. Okay. So you only get good ITC points when the player base numbers start to rise significantly. As long as the tables all randomized and carbon on the same one twice, 100%, no top table. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something we could do, Kev, without doubt, right? Anyway, so if we think about it as a venue, the top. Here's the thing, right? Here's a bold statement, and I'm not trying to upset anyone. I don't think really there's going to be any reason for the top competitive players who are competitive focused to want to come to our venue and play. Unless they're just coming for a fucking cool experience. Because we're going to be able to max 30 to 40 players. There's no way you're going to get good ITC points on 30 to 40 players. You just aren't. It's just a fact. It used to be that if you got to a certain number of players, you got a GT, and then you got GT points. Doesn't work that way anymore. It's number based. Now, with the amount of large events that are played throughout the course of the year, all around the country, if you think about the UK tournament circuit, if you think about all the big GW events, we just aren't going to be able to compete with people that have 70, 80, 90, 100 players for ITC points. So that's not the crowd we go for, right? I think that there's a larger portion of people that just want to play on cool looking fucking tables. And you know what? They'll go to an event because it's 5 random games they wouldn't normally have got at home when their kids are pulling their hair and wife's whinging about the fact they've got their models on the table. So they'll go, I'll go play, and I get to play 5 random people, and I get to chill out and enjoy myself, and I get to just enjoy. And so we could even put like list restrictions in and stuff like that. We're not anti-ITC. Just offering ITC points is I don't think anything is going to really help many people in our world. We can't compete with the South Coast Super Major or Beachhead or London Grand Tournament or Bristol GT or Coventry GT. We can't compete with those. So why try? Kind of pointless, right? We might as well offer the most fun experience. Jaco, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You're a legend. One of the reasons I've enjoyed playing at Tactics is the quality of the tables. Yeah, Lawrence's event, I did a whole show about it. His event's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's the sort of experience I wanted to go and have, and it's the sort of experience I want to give to people. And maybe slowly but surely, venues at a time, like Tactics' venue, like Hobby House, we can kind of offer people that place to play, which is fun and enjoyable and relaxing and feels nice, and it's pretty, and you've got great tables. And Emperor's Line says member me. Chat, Emperor's Line wants a membership. Exclamation mark gift. No. Exclamation mark snipe me, Emperor's Line is what you want. All one word, right? We'll see if these random, wonderful human beings can get me to a membership goal and at the same time get you a membership. That'd be cool. I'd be into that. Of course I'd be into that. It's good for me. At this point, a good chunk of us would turn up to watch the paint dry at Hobby House. Big question is, would we turn up to a narrative event if say VT were hosting? It depends. Like, don't worry about who the people are. It depends on whether the event hits the right mark, though, right? 99 likes is loose like the stream. Her computer's not even on, mate.
It is today. I haven't actually.
You got the stream on?
Yeah.
Wow, she's just ignoring you.
My one only says there's 9. I've got loads of time to like.
Andrew, thank you for the gifted. Up to 20. Right, nothing but 10 bombs now, chat, right? Are you doing any loose hopes tonight?
No.
We're quite far behind right now. It'd be really helpful if you said yes.
No.
You're not really a team player, are you?
No. I like to play by myself in the sandbox.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew, for trying it, mate. Thank you for the one gifted. Emperor's Line still waiting. Yeah, so in all seriousness, though, Whitey, right, I appreciate what you're saying, and I do appreciate what you're saying, and I know where you're coming from, but surely, no matter who it is that runs the event, no matter who it is, if what they put on is 25 tables of beautiful terrain, and it's quite dense, and it's really narrative, and it feels, you look at it and go, that's cool, I want to play on that, and they give you some cool missions and some cool ways of playing the game, etc., etc., and they run it chill, they put some list restrictions in place, and that kind of, like, surely then you'd be like, actually, I probably would go.
Separate saves between melee and ranged defense.
Interesting, David. Why? Yes, and thank you for the one gifted. Jill, thank you for the one gifted. Whitey, thank you for the one gifted. Go on, chat. You can do it. We're going for the Eldar approach today. We're going death by 1,000 cuts. After the money I've spent today on Hobby House, I could really do with it. It is fucking terrifying what everything costs. Just shelving. Shelving costs. All right, we need that much shelving for there, that much shelving for there, that much shelving for there, that much shelving for there. How much does that come to? Number. What the fuck? How? Fucking shelving.
You should have just stacked everything on top of each other.
I was pricing up TVs today for on the wall for our displays and our menus and stuff like that. It's just terrifying what everything costs. Private Pile, thank you for the one gifted. Can't tell about them. I have 2 Crux Terminus boxes and 2 Creed Battalion boxes in the queue. Got to save our Monopoly money, Canadian dollar dues. Well, good for you. I got no Crux Terminator boxes, but by the time I remembered it, it was fully sold out. And the prices on eBay were insane. You don't need shelves, you've got a perfectly good floor. Oh wait, no you don't. We've managed to drag that right down. Do you want to hear the latest flooring quotes?
Okay.
So there's been a lot of work done on the flooring, right? A lot of work done on the flooring.
Characters can lead themselves.
I just want to flat get rid of this while leading a unit bollocks, Nick, honestly. Captain Rex, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You're an absolute hero. So the floor, we've got many gates at the moment, right? So if we're going to talk about floor gate for a while, all right, because this was a thing, a friend of mine quoted me for the flooring, and I think he tried to forget the lube.
For the fight phase, no fights first, just roll for it. Proper dice game.
I like it, but I'd like modifiers depending on a statistic, right? Does that make sense? Initiative, yeah, I like something like that. Anyway, so Floorgate started when a friend of mine gave me a quote and it was fucking ludicrous. And it was ludicrously high. And I was like, I didn't think it would be a cheap job, but that's fucking insane. So I shared that quote with some people. Some of those people know the industry. Some of them know the cost of materials. Some of them lay floors. for a living. They do it, right? So they came back to me and I was like, before I overreact here, is this a reasonable quote for flooring in the building, in the venue? And basically every single person went, no, that's ludicrous. Utterly fucking ludicrous. I was like, okay, cool. Why? And it was for every reason that I thought. So I felt vindicated, right? You know, I'm right. It's nonsense words. The quote, chat, for reference, was about £16,700 to do the floor, right? And I was like, how is the floor going to cost me more than the fucking air conditioning? So I texted my friend, who is part of the people that were going to do this, and said, the fuck is this bullshit? Didn't get a response. And I emailed the guy back and said, the guy who sent me the quote, who wasn't my friend, and say, we're going to consider our options. That clearly made him think, oh, we've quoted too high here. And he came back the next day and said, we have made a slight mistake on some of the pricing. I'm very, very sorry. I'm going to correct it now. I bet if I hadn't said anything, he wouldn't have corrected it. Anyway, he corrected it and he came back and it knocked about £900 off the price. Right? And I was like, that is still insane as a quote. So I replied with quite a measured response, but I also said that I had Googled the first line item on the quote, specifically the main material for the flooring, and I Googled the exact same brand and type.
We know initiative isn't coming back, so as a fix, FF into FF is simultaneous, whole units can fight, Giant should fight Giant in Eldar Mirror, not run.
Thank you, Britters. I think you're right, initiative isn't coming back, but doing something about it would be interesting, right? So just the main material, just the main flooring material, we had been quoted it at £32.99 per square metre. And I Googled it, same brand of material, not a different brand, literally the same stuff. First hit on Google, didn't even have to search. First hit on Google, right, is $19.99 per square metre, but that's inclusive of VAT, and we're VAT registered, so we can claim VAT back. So they had quoted me £6,008 for material, and with a bit of number crunching, I was able to get it for about £2,800, £2,900.
That's mad.
And I put that in the email. I was like, you know, this is the what I've found on the first line item. So I don't now trust that you're not trying to fucking rip me off everywhere, because you've doubled the cost of your materials for the first line item. So there's no faith at all in anything you've written. And the second I questioned the first quote, you also changed the labour rate for one part of it from £20 per square metre down to £8 per square metre. So, like, I have no fucking faith in your quote at all now. So basically, you can fuck off, right? And then I didn't get a response from that either. So they tried their hand. They tried to fleece me. I've told them I'm not stupid. I do my due diligence, and they've gone away. Okay. So I spoke to some of the other people that I spoke to, got some quotes through, and we've looked at what was originally quoted and been like, do we need that level? Do we need that? And the answer is probably no. Done some videos and some photos, had long conversations about things, and the latest we've got the floor down to, from a flooring professional, I might add, right, is exclusive of VAT, because we don't pay VAT, so we don't consider that money as a cost.
Okay.
Because you pay it, then you claim it back, right?
Okay.
Exclusive of VAT, it was 16,700. It's now £5,660 to do it.
That's quite different.
That's fucking significantly different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Daniel says, I could do a resin flooring for about £5,000. Did you want to email me, liam@hobbyhouse.com? We'll have the conversation. So yeah, you know, what a difference from 16,500 down to 5,600. So you can't tell me now that they weren't ripping me off at the start.
What are you going to say to your friend?
I'm going to probably call him a cunt. In our staff survey for the shop I work in, to get separate toilet for staff from the customer toilet, the big bosses said it would cost approximately 70,000 for all new plumbing, etc. I just laughed. You can claim VAT back now, wait for the budget, don't. £3 grand and I'll have a go. You done it before, Carl? You could come down and labour with the guy who's going to do it, but I don't know where your kids would go. There's no Lego in my floor anymore for Freddie to ruin. Only 11k off the top, exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. Things aren't. I know things aren't cheap. Things are expensive. I'm learning about the fact that things are just flat fucking expensive. And what we're doing is we're getting multiple quotes per item. Because one quote's never enough. 2 quotes are almost never enough. 3 quotes is kind of where you want to be.
Yeah.
And you'll get kind of a spectrum, a high, a low, and a medium, or you'll get 2 that sit very close together and one that's an outlier. And if one's an outlier and it's ridiculously cheap, you're going to go, why is it that cheap? That's quite cheap. So maybe that, because everyone goes, we just go for the cheapest quote. Yeah, but you might also get the shittest job. So we're doing a lot of, here's 3 quotes. These 2 are bunched together, so they're probably more likely what you would expect to pay for this kind of work. This one's ridiculously high, so they're either trying to fleece me, which, you know, tradesmen do this. Tradesmen do this all the time. Tradesmen go, I've heard it from people that I know who are in trades, who they go, get a job, don't need the work, got loads on, got loads to do, so what we'll do is we'll quote turbo high, and if they don't take it, we're like, well, we didn't need the work anyway, we just tried our luck, and if they do take it, fuck me, you've paid 4 times what you should have done for me to do the work, banging. Right? And it's up to the person who's trying to hire the tradesman to decide whether they do or don't think that that's worth it, because value ultimately is subjective. And then if they do get their work, they'll go, well, we'll find a way of squeezing you in because the money's too good to turn down. The issue is, these lads wanted to do the work in 2 weeks' time, so it's not like they're fully fucking booked, and one of them is supposed to be a friend of mine, so I can't see Hobby House updates, snipe me. Mr. Emperor's Lion is desperate, chat. Desperate. I always appreciate the British and their ample use of the C word. It's just, Andrew, honestly, it's just such a perfect word sometimes. It can be overused. It's such a perfect word sometimes.
I love it when I'm on the phone to my dad and I'll drop the C-bomb and he'll go, oof, loose. And I'm like, in this phone call, I'm the only one that has one. Why are you getting offended?
My mum's, oh, I don't like that word. I'm like, well, you're in my fucking house, so tough.
Why is the word itself, it's the sound of it.
That's
harsh. Why it's harsh.
Ugh.
Like the meaning of it, it's
Interestingly,
I don't understand.
I don't feel like it's as offensive when an Australian says it.
Well, it's just a loving term.
Because it's just like the way they say it, their accent, it kind of takes the harshness
it's like
out of it.
breathing to them.
Yeah,
they can't say they can't say
They don't
it.
even say the T properly. It just takes the harshness out of the word. But when we say the word, there's a real harshness to it, especially if you make sure that you sound that T correctly at the end. JP, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. And thank you so much, Clive, the Kiwi, for 1 additional membership. Apparently 135 according to YouTube. I might have missed one. So I'm going to say 35 because YouTube says 35. We're also 117 likes, you wonderful fucking humans. Thank you so much. 15 away from halfway. Poor old Mr. the Emperor's Lion still doesn't have a membership chat.
Isn't it a Shakespearean word?
I don't know.
I think the word bastard is Shakespearean.
Nah, I think the word bastard was invented by Sean Bean, I'll be honest. Bastard.
I'm Googling.
Just stupid. Thank you for the one.
There's a whole bunch of swear words. So
Nah, bastard was invented by,
think-
definitely invented by Sean Bean. Facts.
What? Oh, who invented as a swears?
Not sure what's going on with YouTube. Had to search your full name to find the stream. Boo. Do you know what? Oddly, lately, I'm hemorrhaging subs. YouTube is dead against me going to 35,500. Every time I get close, it just drops by like 20, which is normally an indication that YouTube is sniping bots out the world, just getting rid of bots subscribers. Because what happens to channels quite a lot often is they get like wild levels of bot subscribers and they'll try and spam live chats and stuff. But
The word is one of the oldest in the English language and was originally a neutral anatomical descriptor for the vulva or vagina. Bonus points, babe. Where's the vulva? It's not the vagina.
no,
So where is it?
it's around there somewhere, isn't it?
Right? Okay.
Look, to find some of these things that you people claim exist, you need a fucking wetsuit and a map.
The earliest known written use in English around 1230 was in the form of a London street name, Grope Cunt Lane. In the Middle Ages, it was common to name streets after the goods or services found there. For example, Fish Street. So this was a practical, though crude, description of a red light district.
Is that how they have so many subs? Well, there was a theory shared by many that certain channels, that one may be one that's included, were buying subscribers. Just Jupiter, thank you for one gift of membership. There was a theory, right? That theory is because if you Google buy YouTube subs or buy Instagram followers or whatever, there is a bunch of services out there where you can buy followers and you can buy subs, right? However, all these services are against YouTube's terms of service. So if you're found to be doing it, you can be in lots of trouble with your channel. You can be in a lot of trouble with your channel. So if anyone ever thinks, I know I'll do Liam a massive favour and I'll buy him 1,000 subs, please don't, because it's fucking not good for YouTube. It fucks you in a multitude of ways. It fucks your algorithm. It fucks your numbers. And if YouTube find out that's what's going on, you're gonna have to work pretty fucking hard to prove to them that it wasn't you that bought them.
The word was not considered vulgar in the Middle Ages, but became so during the 17th century. The shift coincided with a time when societal views of female sexuality became more restrictive and misogynistic. So the men made it vulgar. Hope you're proud of yourselves.
Very proud.
By Shakespeare's era, the word was considered obscene and was generally avoided in explicit form in public performances.
What are you blaming men for?
Today it remains one of the most offensive words in the English language, particularly in American English, while in other English-speaking regions like the UK, its usage can vary more widely, sometimes used as a generic term of abuse or even a non-gender specific insult among friends. I can't believe Google let me Google it. It hasn't even blurred it out or anything.
This is the same YouTube that can't work out their gifted system. It is ghastly. It's working at the moment though. If anyone wants to gift 5. JP's gifted 5. He loves me. Captain Rex gifted 5. He loves me. Just saying.
Shall we go and find Grope Cunt Street when we go to London next?
No.
I want to find it.
I mean, I want to live on it.
I wish we had simple times like that when your last name was what you did for a living. So baker, blacksmith, and the street was what was on the street.
You wouldn't want your last name. You wouldn't want your
Street.
last name to be Grape Cunt, would it? It's true. Lots of people don't ever use the C word in the States. Yeah, it's really offensive in the US, isn't it?
What a simple time. You knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we took a divert chat away from 40k for a bit. There we go. Poor old Emperor's Lion still wants a gifted. He said, chat, right? I don't want to get the little violin out for him, but retired, living in a caravan and about to move back into my house and have to buy all my furniture again, so I'm broke for other expenses. And he really wants to see the hobby house updates, you know. Really wants to see what's going on behind the scenes. Thank you, Whitey55, for the 5 gifted memberships. He's really keen. Stefan, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. So I could say that gifted memberships is all about me and funding the channel, but really it's about him. Isn't it, Luce?
It's about who?
It's about Emperor's Lion trying to buy all his furniture after moving back into his house, and he can't afford a membership, but he really wants to see the hobby house updates that I'm putting on every week behind the members paywall.
Yeah.
Liam YouTube and Loose Fleshlight, weird names.
I'd probably be a very rich lady if I invented that.
Well,
Oldest industry in the world.
still missed. Thank you for trying that, Stefan. You're a hero. You're a hero. I'm really hopeful for these 500 worlds. I am. I'm really enjoying writing narrative. How many people write narrative lists and how many people try and write the strongest list they can? Put a 1 in chat if you, when you write your list, try and write something narrative. Put a 2 if you just try and write something cool. Put a 3 if you try and write something competitive. Love the colour scheme for Hobby House, that red is Chef's Kiss. Thank you, Yestin. Yestin, by the way, utter legend. Yesterday on the Saints show, gifted 71 memberships.
Aw, he is the best.
What a fucking hero. Ghastly, thank you for the one gifted. So 1 for narrative, 2 for cool, 3 for competitive. It's very interesting, the lack of 3s. Vibes and tribes and all that though, right? Vibes and tribes. Vibes and tribes. So when we've got, right, so here's a question. This is an interesting one. And I genuinely want some interesting feedback here because there's a world where I have to start having chats with the team. So the team have specific individuals. I love them. They're incredible humans. They're amazing people. But for the most part, they've moved quite hard towards these fucking super dialed in dick kicking lists that are hyper efficient and really good at fucking fighting each other. I'm getting the vibe that most of you don't give a shit about that. Is that fair? Will Happy House have a YouTube channel for events? I'm not sure. I don't know, Carl, is the honest answer to that one. I don't know if it's worth it. But most of you were like 1s and 2s. All 1s and 2s. I find it really interesting. You got your head in your hands there.
Yes.
We will never lose Paddy. We do because we love seeing Sad Joe. He's apparently very excited to come back and play some 40k. I think he's had a good time though. Being thematic and balanced is just as cool. Agree. How's it going, Scrivo? Miss you. Mordy, thank you for 5 gifted, you wonderful human. Come on, let's do it. Let's hit him. Let's get him. Come on. No. Boo. Thank you, Mordy Hammer, for 5 gifted. We are 2 away from fucking halfway, chat. And then just one of you can just drop 50 and we'll be good. Who is going to do it? Who's going to drop 50? Who do you nominate?
Trying to think of a name that's probably hiding in the back. Going, don't pick me.
Fun fact, chat, when Luz picks you don't have to do it.
Yeah, you don't.
There's a lot of money, right? Paddy's not that bad. The rest of the team just roll shit against him. That's actual facts. Been loving Jay's video updates and things. Glad he's had an amazing time. I will try and... if he's kept them all, I will try and stitch them all together when he gets home. But there's a couple of like rounds where he didn't do a video and stuff like that, so it's a bit all over the place. He'll be in for the Liam and Joe show on Thursday, and we'll talk about his time that he had there. So don't miss that show because that'll be the return of him. I haven't scheduled him to play on Thursday night because he gets back tomorrow after flying essentially overnight and kind of going back in time. It's weird, or going, I don't know how it works. So his body clock might be off a bit. So I thought, well, I'll give him the opportunity if he wants to on Thursday to go home in the evening. So he can sort of slowly set his body clock back to normal. And then we'll get him in for playing games of 40k the week after.
I wonder if he'll get back here, and because everything's so big in America, will he have a minute of, oh yeah, our lorries are that big and our cars are that big?
It's hard. Depending on how long you've been out there, it feels a little bit more claustrophobic, but he's not been out there long enough that it'll make a huge difference to him, to be fair. Are the 500 worlds going to be sold at once, or we have to collect the set? I don't know. Interesting, isn't it? And then what they also need to do is they need to make sure they've got enough available, because I don't want it to be. There's, I think Carl said right at the start of the stream, that he bought a book, and then by the time he finally took receipt of that book, the edition changed and he couldn't use it, which is utterly pointless. Andrew, thank you for 5 gifted. We're over halfway there. Lucy, if you picked your person to give 50.
No. Can Carl refund his book? I know it's probably a long time ago now, but...
I don't know if they would have allowed him to or not. I'd imagine so.
Why?
I'd guess so, but I don't know, because...
It's unplayable by that point.
It's not, strictly. You could still play the old edition. There's nothing stops you from doing that.
For his intended purpose.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do agree with you.
I watched the 40k World Champ finally yesterday and was shocked how dog shit the table looked. Give me a fun narrative game with a great table over this shit any day.
Yeah, 100%. Andy says, last one for me. Sorry, couldn't do more. Don't be stupid. You've done loads. Thank you so much. Got to get up in 6 hours to go back to work. Have a good day, evening all. You're a legend. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you so much for 5 extra gifted, man. You're a hero. What a hero. No, it's weird, right? Because... I've had this conversation before, and it's an interesting one. So when they ship a codex out, and that codex is null and void on the day of release, because they release an update immediately that changes something, right? Which happens very frequently. It's less often recently, but for example, in 9th edition, they released the Votan codex, which we all looked at that as previewers and went, "This is fucking mental. You cannot let this go out in this state because it's fucking mental." It's far too powerful. It's ridiculous. I think only one person came out and went, "Oh, I think it's fine." It was also a person that helped write the fucking thing and happened to just happened to have a whole army ready by the time the book released. Everyone else went, "This is insane." So they released an update immediately. Went, "We're changing these things to kind of bring the power back a little bit because it's too mental." So the book is arguably not right. Then it's fucked. It's not right at all. What they will tell you is that the updates they bring out, and they're quite clever about this, the updates, the FAQs, the erratas, the changes to the books, they are matched play updates.
What does that mean?
So it means that you only need to use these specifically in matched play scenarios. If you're playing tournament Warhammer. So what they're saying is you can take that book as it is with none of our updates and you can still play with those rules. Now, for the best balanced experience, we recommend we use these match play rules, but you can actually play with it as it is. So it's not strictly null and void. You can actually use it.
What if you just say that you've changed your mind? I know they'd probably give you store credit, and you're definitely going to use the store credit.
I'm not sure.
And you have your receipt, and you've got all
if the book is sealed and you receive it very, very late, and you go, "I forgot I'd even fucking ordered this. I don't want it anymore." Their returns people are normally pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is the honest. Dan, thank you for the one gifted. We're on 54, chat. We have, however, got 15 minutes to go. Just 15 minutes to go.
No, I'm not doing it. It's hobby night.
You're not even hobbying.
I'm having a break because the pattern scares me, so I'm having a break now.
You've been having a 20-minute break.
Like 10 minutes maximum while I've been chatting to you.
You always make things sound smaller than they are. Oh my lord. Poor old Emperor's Lion. He's not getting a membership tonight. Feel bad for him. You can drive a car with no tyres. To enhance driving experience, you may want our tyre update, but you don't have to. Exactly. That's kind of it though, isn't it, right? Ultimately, there isn't a single codex that comes out which is flat unusable. It might not be good enough to ever win a game, or it might be so good you'll never lose a game, but it's not unusable. You can use it strictly in the game. I don't like the response. For reference, I don't like that as an answer, but it is an answer. Unfortunately. It is a thing. You can still use it. Morty, thank you for one more gifted membership. You're a legend. Up to 55. Rounding it off to a nice number. Now, if we could stick to multiples of 5, 10, 20, or 50s, that'd be great. What? What's Star saying?
Banana?
No. What's that about? I bet it'd be like when people put all their L's in for Brian. Brian. I'm tired now, babe.
I'm tired as well.
We ordered our retail shelving today. I think it's 6 pallets.
Is this more up and down the stairs?
God, no. No, this is for the shop. It's in the front door and then round the corner.
You're getting your money's worth out of that NHS, aren't you? The cartilage in your knees.
My God. No. However, Toby has said, I'd like some more shelving for the middle floor so we can finish off. I was like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to.
I said, I tell you what, I'll order it on Wednesday to turn up on Thursday. He's like, oh, so I can carry up the stairs with you and Joe doing your live stream? Yes.
The 500 Worlds book is subtitled Titus. Could we see more 500 World books for other characters? Huron, Yarick or Peter Turbo?
I would love to see that, Narek. And I would actually here's the thing I would love. Oh my God. In that particular super chat, Brian sounds like he'd give his wife a good time. So here's what I'd like to see, Narek, honestly. I don't think it will happen. This is like a blue skies thinking kind of scenario, right? There is 500 fucking worlds, right? It's a big old space. There's a lot going on in the 500 worlds. And Gilliman is ordering them to retake the 500 worlds, right? Cool. I love that. I love a bit of narrative progression. I'm into it. Just about the time that I found out I'm a secret Smurf. Who doesn't love that, right? What I would like to see, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see them cram all this narrative into the last 6 months of 10th edition and then go, cool, it's done. What would be super fucking cool would be to release the 500 worlds and would be to continue it throughout the whole of 11th edition alongside standard codex releases and tournament updates and mission pack updates and fucking all the normal stuff that we've seen in 10th edition. Release 500 world stuff over the course of the whole of 11th. So the competitive people that want to follow balanced data slates and new mission packs and secondaries, they can do that thing, that's fine. And the narrative goons among us can go, we've got the 500 worlds, which is just progressing the narrative and progressing the narrative. And there's formations and detachments and things that guess what? Competitive people can't fucking use them because it's just for narrative people, right? That would be fucking brilliant. That's what I would love to see. I don't think 500 Worlds is the end campaign. I think it's a single buy. It probably is. But that's what I would love to see. That would be... And it doesn't even have to be 500 Worlds. It would be anything like that. But imagine something that where they just slowly released it alongside all the other releases at the same time. I'd love that. I'd love it. A new narrative book a quarter. So what? 4, 8, 12 over the course of an edition. Oh. Orgasmic. Someone asked if Emperor's Lion has had a brand or got a brand account. He says he's had a gifted membership before, by the way. So, you know. Some comp players love narrative just as much. Yeah, of course. By playing competitive doesn't exclude you from playing narrative, Scrivo, ultimately. I'm just saying, I think for the last 3 years, the sort of focus has basically been on comp players and their game, and I think that there's been a large section of the fan base kind of neglected. And that's not to say that narrative players don't like comp play, because they do. Plenty of narrative players play comp play, but there is a lot of people that are like, I have no interest in going to a 100-man GT. I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. And they're sort of stuck just playing Leviathan or playing Chapter Approved or playing whatever the other one was called, Prime Nexus. I'd like to see Crusade go away in 11th. I think it's a failed experiment. I've played 4 different Crusade campaigns. I've never had the desire to play it. Thank you, Edward, for the one gifted up to 56.
So Psychic Awakening? They did that. Oh, wait.
Thanks, Star, for the $2. Crusade isn't the answer. It's bloated and not deep. Yeah, how that's an impressive. It's an impressive feat from Games Workshop, isn't it? It's an impressive feat to be like, we're going to have this rule set that's massively bloated, but it also doesn't have any depth. How have you done that? If you're going to be bloated, at least have depth. Crusade needs an app to support it. Apparently there is a third-party one. I've never used it. I don't have any interest. I'd love to. I'd level 11 through a launch and Crusade to just go away. It's miserable. Yeah, I don't like it. Worse, Crusade has admin. Yeah, I'm not interested. The amount of times, right? The amount of times people in chat have pushed us to do a narrative Crusade campaign on the channel, and I have legitimately thought about it continuously to bring some kind of different type of content, and I start reading. I'm just not interested. I just don't care for it. I just don't care for the admin. Goonhammer did administrator, but it's paperwork. Is it them that made it? Is it? Just every time I've started looking into it, honestly, as a kind of a means to play narratively, I very quickly get turned off of it. I'd rather just make my own rules for a mission. You know, maybe not go ITC rank for every event. I think we're gonna not go ITC rank for most of our events. I'll be honest with you, Jay. We can't compete ITC wise. Why bother trying? We can use BCP for pairings and placings metrics to organise the event, but we don't need to submit the points. Create your own narrative. Members can dictate storyline by way of vote. I love that. That's something I really want to think about. What I want to do is I want to get Toby and Joe in a room and bash their heads together and be like, let's make something super interactive with the community. Loving progress on Hobby House. I shall certainly be coming to visit when it's ready. Oh, bless you, Benji. Thank you, mate. What a hero. Do your own thing like mini wargaming do. So that's what I would like to do. But for me personally, I'll hold my hands up here. I can do lots of things. Creating a narrative and being super inventive in how that narrative works and plays out, I'm not great at that. I'm just not great at that. So if I can get Toby and Joe to both get their narrative juices flowing, so we can come up with something that works and comes across well on screen, 100% that's what I'd like to do. It's just not something that I'm particularly... I will happily throw myself into playing a narrative. I'm not particularly good at coming up with the narrative concept and how it all works. Create your own adventure. 40k style but live streamed. Yeah. Exactly. We've got even more grey names in chat right now, people. Come on. Let's get gifting. Let's get them in the Great Hall. Let's get them in Discord. Make them all green. Snot on them. Alright. I'm currently designing a terrain pack for narrative, functional and pretty. Sounds good. I'm interested. The admin is rough when you've got kids' obligations trying to do anything like a crusade. The admin's rough if you haven't got that stuff. That's the problem, Maxwell, right? The admin's rough anyway. Keeping a little fucking journal, it's just a bad idea. I can't see that it's been that successful. Thanks, Gaz, for the exclamation marks. Legend.
I'm so looking forward to bedtime.
Joe is too close to the gaming meta nowadays to carry it off. Maybe. Doesn't Crusade get massively unbalanced though? I think. Sorry, back to Garth's point. I think Joe's problem is he's tried too hard to compete with Tom and Paddy potentially, and it's skewed. And if we maybe put him around more narrative people, he'll get that love back. Doesn't Crusade get massively unbalanced though? I'm sure I've heard about Custodies being utterly broken with enhancements. I've heard that it can go wildly one direction quite quickly. I think Games Workshop's definition of narrative is very different than the player base. Yes, 100%. No, don't. I'll delete the comment if you spell "you're" wrong. It annoys me. You know it annoys me. That's why you've put the winky face. 3 minutes, Luce, and 44 members to go. Can we do it?
No.
She doesn't believe in you lot. At all.
Does anyone read a paper anymore?
No.
Oh, I heard something a little while ago. Apparently, our children will be the last generation to know what a paper is, because they'll phase them out in their
I'm going to be honest with you,
lifetime.
babe. Do our children even know what a newspaper is?
Yeah, I think they do. Only because on the few times that I buy them because of the Sudoku or the crossword or whatever, and then in some cartoons it's still referenced as like dad at the breakfast tables
I'll
reading
be
the
honest with
paper.
you, I'd have assumed if I'd have asked my youngest what a newspaper was, he'd have no fucking clue whatsoever.
Yeah, Ben knows. He knows what a paper is.
If we don't hit goal, I think we'll see Leah with a black eye tomorrow. Trooper it is. Gaz is trying. He gifted 1. Thank you so much. So if what you're saying is, if you don't hit the 100 member goal, you want to see me punched in the eye.
What, me?
No, me. Punched in the eye. By loose.
I did tell you to watch out for that door. And the only time that I accidentally got you in the eye, that was when I went to scratch my head and you leaned over to kiss me goodnight at the same time, and my elbow got you perfectly in the eye socket and it made that squidgy sound.
Did it make a squidgy sound?
Awful.
Only at the bottom of the Grand National says, on a note from earlier, I had one of my groomsmen record my wedding with less than a week's notice, him with an iPhone and a large camera from his work, mics from the DJ, and help from my best man's wife.
Ah.
It did a better job than Games Workshop. It was not difficult, was it? He loves the fluff, yes, but he's tuned into competitive and has abandoned the very thing he loves. Yeah, rule of free addiction is the biggest indicator of that. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I love 40k, but the table wasn't trying to put me off, so I stopped playing. Fair. Absolute fair. The door attached to the end of your arm. Yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah. Edward, the stream at the weekend was... it was embarrassing. I think they were lucky that what they were showing off was so good, because the actual quality of the stream was embarrassing. It was so bad. I said this before on Saturday's show, right? Someone messaged me and said, I can't wait to see your reactions about their production. And I was like, I feel bad because live streaming is hard and shit goes wrong, right? We then proceeded to go live on Saturday, and I hadn't changed anything from Friday night. Hadn't changed anything at all. Went live, and YouTube was like, nah, not today, mate. And so it kept stuttering, and it kept stuttering, and it kept stuttering. And I had to go offline, reboot OBS, and downgrade the stream quality.
But why was Luce stood on the bed's headboard before she jumped up and dropped the people's elbow on Tilliam?
Don't ask me, Gav, I was asleep.
Isn't that a wrestling move?
Yeah. So I then had issues with the stream, right? And when I was prepared to go and to come online and talk about their production quality, I then had problems. And it's always the way that the world works. The world is fickle, right? And it will go, right, you can have tech problems now, so you can't say you're better than a multi-million-pound company. So I had loads of tech problems, and what I did then is I rebooted OBS and I downgraded my stream quality to 1440p. I reduced my bitrate, and it settled and it stabilized. And I was like, right, I don't know what's going on, but it's stable and we can do the show now. And I was on a time limit anyway because I had an afternoon out, and we did the show. And then I was expecting to defend Games Workshop, and I sort of sat there and I was like, look, you know, as I've just shown, live is live. I had changed 0 settings from Friday night where I had streamed in 4K from this place. I went live on Saturday and it was fucking about and it wouldn't do anything until I downgraded the stream quality. Fun fact, tonight I put the bitrate back up to 50 kilobits per second. I put the stream quality back up to 4K. I just hit go live and we've had no stuttering. So just on Saturday it went, nah, mate. Nah. So that happens. So I was like, I'm gonna defend them a little bit here because like fuck ups live streams happens. Then they went live and they were muted. We've done that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cool. Okay, we've done that. And then when they finally unmuted the microphones, and like I said, we've done that, so I can forgive that. They have a whole production team, but I can forgive that.
Do they though?
When they finally unmuted the microphones, it was some of the worst sounding audio I've ever heard. And I'm like, when you've got an auditorium with 1,000 people sat watching you, and you've got a stage that you built up front, and you've got The whole way it looked was bad though, chat, as well, right? They had their laptops in front of them. Hello. So you can see over the top of the laptop. Hello. Right?
What's this? It's loose. With a steel chair. My God.
Can we just... I'm stringing this out now so we can get through these gifted, chat, right? There's still 150 people watching. I need less than a third of you to gift a membership, and we're going to be there. We're going to get there. £5. Less than a Costa nowadays, or a Starbucks, right? Go for it. So they have their laptops in front of them, which I instantly don't like. It looks ugly. Like, just be neat with it. You just create a little border, like a Dungeon Master screen. Raise yourselves up so you're over the screen. Have your laptops behind, so you don't have these ugly. It's just presentation, and it grips me. The presentation fucking annoyed me anyway. But then the problem with the sounds are, this isn't an Eddie or an Adam Troke problem. A simple fucking sound check would have solved the whole problem. If they'd have sound checked it before they went live, I can't believe they haven't.
I'm going to say best chat now because I'm absolutely bursting for the toilet and I need to get cracking on my housework.
Okay. One mic was fine. The other echoed. They should have just shared the mic in the end. But they have these back in Nottingham, Chapter Master. They have these.
Ready? Best chat.
Best chat from Loose. I'm hanging on a little bit. Thank you, Big Bad Pete, again for the one gifted membership. I've spent too much money today on Hobby House stuff. There's just money flowing out at the moment. I need you all more than ever right now. They have these, and I have my audio coming out my speakers in front of me, right? All the time I have the audio, and you guys don't hear it on feedback loop because of the hypercardioid pattern that these have. Pickup patterns are important, and when you come away from hypercardioid pickup patterns on microphones, and you can Google microphone pickup patterns, and you'll see stereo pickup patterns and mono and hypercardioid, supercardioid and cardioid and conical and all that kind of shit, right? They just had the wrong ones. It was I don't get it. I don't get it. Thank you so much, Big Rapid Game, for the one gifted membership, and thank you, Alex Shepherd, for 5 gifted memberships. You fucking hero. Love you. So that's another... We're on 64 now, apparently. Somehow I keep missing these memberships, and YouTube's telling me we're on 64. I personally like the wonky table on camera. I hope the image that you can fuck off, Kev. Craig, thank you for 5 gifted. Come on. Is Joe in the sky yet? He might be. I can't remember what time his flight was. Look at that number. That's a fancy number, isn't it? You ready? That's a number. And then you had this weird, like, there's so many things that annoyed me about it. Like, they had an audience of 1,000 people. You have to expect whooping and cheering and clapping. The audio wasn't set up to capture any of that. So there's these weird moments where they'd say something or something would come up on the screen and the audience would start clapping and whooping and you basically could hear nothing. And all you've got is a camera on Eddie and Adam going, well, as you can hear from our live audience, no, we can't. We can't hear it from our live audience, you fucking lunatics. It's impossible because you haven't put any microphones in there. I could have... What annoys me, right, is I probably could have done a better job with the equipment that I have and I own than what they put together. And I'm a 35,000 sub YouTube channel who's currently barely making enough to pay the bills. One member of staff, Chuckles, thank you so much for 5 gifted, right? And I could have put on a better show. And that's really frustrating. Now, Games Workshop are never going to ask for my help, right? I swear too much. We make far too many inappropriate jokes. We're too broy. There's no way they're ever going to ask me to help them. But fun fact, there's loads of creators out there that are bigger and better than we are that don't swear and they're not too broy and they don't make inappropriate jokes. They have access to so much knowledge and so much equipment, and people would do it just for the accolade of, I was involved in helping the Games Workshop show. They have a sea of creators. There's so many things they could do with the sea of creators and they just don't. And I'm like, you've got a vast knowledge base. Honestly.
Just stand user screen and PowerPoint easy.
Oh my god. Thanks, Ben, for the $2. And then Alex. Fuck it. You just gifted 5, mate. You've done your bit. But thank you so much for coming in and dropping the fat 20 gifted memberships, you utter hero. Look at you go. Bigger yes, but absolutely not. Bless you. I mean, I would suggest that some of them make better quality content than we make. I'm not saying they've got better, perhaps, personalities necessarily. I like our personalities quite a lot, but in terms of the quality, they probably do slightly better. I don't know. I'm due a big stream update at some point soon, to be honest with you. Once Hobby House is up and running, I think there's going to be a big stream update, and I'm going to start tweaking things again, if I'm honest. Alex chat has come in with 25 gifted and got us 6 away. 6 away from the target. The Emperor's Lion still doesn't have a membership, but he has had a membership before. If we get these 6 smashed out, I can go to bed. I'm fucked. Dread to think how much we've spent today on shelving and secure encrypted laptops for holding all your data, and what else have I fucking spent money today? A coffee machine. And we paid for the painting, and we paid for the window filming that's going on Wednesday. Whitey, thank you for 1 gifted. And we paid. What else did we pay for? It's been depressing. Honestly, the total build cost is concerningly high. Stefan, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You're a legend. What a hero. We did it. Now I can just go and cry in the corner again. It all adds up scarily fast. Bet it's mad. It's mad. Tron Tabletop, thank you for becoming a Yard tier member. I honestly think we're going to be like 3 times over budget. Alright, we can stop now, chat. Dave, thank you so much for 5 gifted. Love you. Think of the number of gifts you could throw at me if you got rid of that Mercedes. Oh, Dave, I filled the car up the other day, the new one. I say it's new, it's not new. It's a 2016, it's a very old car, right? But I filled the car up, and I had 678 miles, I think it was, or 674 miles, something like that, out of the tank. If I keep driving economically, right, I reckon I can get to 700 miles out of a tank of fuel. Try to stay positive. I'm proud of what I'm building. I wanted to work in a world where I've been building 2-month breaks into everything. So if everything goes fucking full tits up and it all goes wrong, after 2 years, we can all break away and no one has to wear a bankruptcy and we're fine. Right? That's, you know, that's what I was hoping. So after 2 years, we can cancel, hand the keys back, we're done. Right? That's what I was hoping to do. And I was hoping to be in a position where having enough money to run the OPEX for 2 years would be positive, would be okay. But the cost of building it is a lot. So I don't think we're going to need to make money for it to be even get to the 2-year point, I think. Even if at that point we still go, it's not making enough money, we just need to not go bankrupt, but hey. But I think the work we're doing is really good. I think that the end result is going to be incredible. And if you're watching the progress shows, I really think we're going to create one of the best spaces out there. I legitimately believe that. And I'm hoping that's enough that gets people in the door, putting money behind the till, and buying our products. But we'll see. Right, it is now nearly 9. I am fucked, and I've got to be back in early tomorrow to carry on all this wonderful money spending and building and what have you. And then I've got a Liam and Toby show in the daytime, and I've got a Tom and Paddy game in the evening time. So you get that to look forward to tomorrow. Wednesday, there is another Warhammer show at 7:30 in the evening. I think I might talk a little bit about the Christmas boxes, but I'm not entirely sure. Thursday, Joe returns. We have a Liam and Joe show in the daytime where we're going to talk about his trip, unless he gets like plane flu or something. Then the evening, we have a live game. Racist Adam's back, and I'm going to play him. And then, are you posting a BTS day? Already done, mate. Already up. Already up. And then Friday we come back with After Dark. And then I have a weekend of no football game, no nothing. So I'm just going to sit and chill out. Go check out the BTS if you haven't already. It's on the channel. You can go see it. It's for members only. But because it's a shitty, unprofessional thing, I don't want everyone else to see that. You lot are amazing. A big shout out to Alex for 25 gifted bits. Thank you to everybody who gifted, specifically the 5s and more. I think Stefan did like 10 and stuff. You're amazing humans. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm going to go to bed. Which is a shame. I really want to do some more on this man. I want to paint some more of Calgar. But hey, I might just go to bed. Thank you so much for watching, you beautiful human beings. Thank you for hitting that like button. 150 likes already before we go as well. Insane. You're insane. Badge. So Saturday, Adam, is either potentially going to be some Vag with Battlefield or Lego build Black Pearl. I might let Thanes vote. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. If you haven't already, before you leave, hit that like button for us. It's free and it really helps us. After the show, if you leave a comment in the comment section, that also really helps the algorithm. Still trying to fucking climb the subscriber tree, but we're doing it without buying people. You're amazing people. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the Liam and Toby show at 1:30. If not, you are the best chat, like we said, and we'll see you in the next one.